This video is sponsored by Nvidio AI. Have you ever looked at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, taken in their interactions, and wondered, why is Prince Harry still with her? Why hasn't he woken up? It's a reasonable question since Harry apparently hated being a spare to Prince William, but now, after escaping from the palace on his freedom flight, has somehow ended up as the spare to Meghan Markle. Often, Harry is seen either being pulled about, pushed about, held hostage, shoved out of frame, or left to shuffle around uncomfortably in the back row, while his wife soaks in the limelight. For this woman, Prince Harry abandoned his entire family and was subsequently left out in the cold thanks to the ridiculous claims of racism,
concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
which he later clumsily denied.
Did Meghan ever mention that they're racist?
Harry has broken with all of his old friends, lost his home, lost his country, and let's be honest, lost his good name. And yet he continues to stand by the woman that's been the cause of his demise. Why? Why do people stay in relationships where they're suffering from narcissistic abuse? If you're not familiar with the term, it's the type of abuse a narcissist unleashes on their significant other by withholding love, kindling guilt, along with intense manipulation and extreme criticism. Withholding love is how the abuse starts, since an early tenet of a relationship with a narcissist is fueled by potent love bombing. The love bombing hooks the prey in, and soon they become addicted to the feeling of being loved by the narcissist. But as the relationship progresses, the narcissist starts to toy around until they drastically pull away. The result is that the prey feels disoriented and insecure and tries to figure out what he or she did that led to this extreme change. At this point, the narcissist will drop hints, things they want their partner to do, use victim narratives and make them feel guilty, threaten to leave, or even end their lives.
Meghan decided to share with me the suicidal thoughts and the practicalities of how she was going to end her life.
Afraid of losing their newfound love, the prey is willing to do anything to make them happy, thus creating a perfect environment for the narcissist to operate in. The narcissist wants control, they want attention, and they want unwavering adulation. And transforming their partner into a sniveling, simpering accessory that will bend to their will and do their bidding is extremely satisfying. Examples of this form of behavior from Prince Harry include him saying during wedding preparations, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." Harry breaking with all of his friends soon after starting his relationship because Meghan asked him to. And finally, sitting silently while Meghan attacked his entire family on Oprah. Attention and control are narcissist favorites, while boundaries and the needs of others are distasteful. Set a boundary and a narcissist will cross it before you even finish your sentence, and then they'll make you apologize for attempting to set it in the first place. It's clear that Harry did not like the accusations of racism Meghan made against his family, which is why he did his best to walk them back, without holding Meghan accountable for firing the shots.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
No, we didn't.
Well, of...
The British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
There was
skin
concern
color.
about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family.
Unable to turn on her, he turned against the press for apparently misreporting the facts. Being in a relationship with a narcissist has this odd effect of altering reality because of the intense storm raging within. Prince Harry is suffering from abandonment issues, from insecurity, from a fragile sense of self, all pain points which are prerequisites for a narcissist so they can press on them at will and make themselves comfortably at home in their new relationship. With insecurity, guilt, and fear distorting their view, the prey will look to their master for answers on what to do, how to proceed, and how to get peace. The narcissist will offer a viewpoint that goes something like this: "I'm the only one who sees you for who you really are."
Meg and I were skin to skin, and she said, "I've never been more in love with you than in that moment." Really? Really? She jotted some thoughts in a kind of journal, which she shared. I read them as a decree. She said, "That was everything." She said, "That is a man." "My love," she said, "that is not a spare."
They're all jealous of us.
But it really changed after the Australia tour, after our South Pacific tour.
That's when we announced we were pregnant with Archie. That was our first tour.
But it was also the first time that the family got to see how incredible she is at the job. And that brought back memories. when someone who's marrying in, who should be a supporting act, is then stealing the limelight or is doing the job better than the person who was born to do this. That upsets people. It shifts the balance. Every single member of the family, senior members of the family had been, including the Queen. And on the front page of the Telegraph, Meghan.
I went, oh my God.
She was like, but it's not my fault. And I said, I know. And my mum felt the same way.
They don't want us to be together.
I think for so many people in the family, especially obviously the men, there can be a temptation or an urge to marry someone who would fit the mold, as opposed to somebody who you perhaps are destined to be with. My mother was chased to her death while she was in a relationship with someone that wasn't white. And now look what's happened. You want to talk about history repeating itself? They're not going to stop until she dies.
Logically, none of that makes sense. Harry and Meghan were hardly the massive successes like their egos would like them to believe. Meghan wasn't doing the job better than people born to it. In fact, Meghan was difficult, late, often wore inappropriate outfits, still does, and always made everything about her rather than the causes she was there to support.
When I was just 11 years old,
William married the woman that he loved after years of making sure she would thrive under the pressures of the role, and his prudence paid off because Catherine, Princess of Wales, over the years has won the hearts and minds of the people despite never once making anything about herself. William and Catherine have the kind of partnership that we should all endeavor to have, one of mutual respect, love, and complementary strengths. As for Meghan being hunted the way his mother was, Meghan wishes she had half the public interest that Diana did. If she did, she wouldn't have to phone the paparazzi all the time, and she certainly wouldn't be smiling ear to ear, reveling in their presence. It's also this resentment about not having public interest that has led Meghan to mobilize her fans, or I think it would be more accurate to call them minions, to execute on a coordinated social media attack on her far more popular sister-in-law and start vicious rumors about her well-being at a time she was recuperating from major surgery. By the way, I often see comments about how I can't leave Meghan Markle well enough alone, since she's apparently living a life of peace and privacy. She's not. I would be more than happy to leave her alone if Meghan wasn't consistently working on various ways to undermine the royal family and destroy their reputations with repeated lies. I'm a royalist. I appreciate the dignified way they carry themselves. I respect their philanthropic work and the focus on duty and serving people. I think they're great role models for all of us, so I will continue to expose Meghan for who she really is. I know a lot of you feel the same way and may be thinking about creating content on this or any other subject yourselves, but maybe don't know how to get started. If so, consider checking out InVideo AI, today's sponsor. InVideo AI is the world's most used AI video creator with over 10 million users. It's the only AI video creator that I've tried that puts you in the driver's seat and works as your personal sidekick to help you with the crucial tasks of scripting, editing, and finding relevant footage so you can bring ideas to life using text prompts. All you have to do is start with a simple prompt and it creates the first rough draft for you. From there, you can get creative and fine-tune your video, like asking the tool to change the intro. Done. Wanted to find better footage for a scene? Done. You can also clone your voice and make it narrate the video in your voice in any language. Did you know that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is considered to be the most famous woman in the world? The best part? It will save you hundreds of dollars every month, as it does the job of more than 10 tools packed all into one at the cost of $20 a month to start. I know many people see AI as a threat and feel that humans are getting replaced, but I see tools like InVideo AI as a way to level up your skills because it will allow you to bring to life projects that would seem out of reach before. So try InVideo AI for free, but if you are serious about video creation, you should get a paid plan that starts at $20 a month. This will remove the watermark and give you the ability to clone your voice. A paid account also gives you access to millions of royalty-free stock footage clips, as well as the better options for voiceovers, which again, typically costs hundreds of dollars. So go to invideo.io/i/thebaggageclaim and use my code thebaggageclaim50 to get twice the number of video generation credits in your first month. And I'm excited to see what you'll all create. Okay, back to the lies that Meghan Markle sold Prince Harry. One of which is how she sees Harry for the man he really is, and how
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense.
And that his princely status was of no interest to her.
All the grandeur surrounding this stuff is an attachment that I don't personally have, right? I've been a waitress, an actress, princess, a duchess. I've always just still been Meghan, right? So for me, I'm clear on who I am, independent of that stuff. And the most important title I will ever have is mom.
If titles really didn't mean anything to Meghan like she claims they don't, then why would she insist on being referred to as Duchess of Sussex at every possible event? But these are the lies that Meghan has told, that Harry has willingly bought into. Why? Because the other path would be more painful. If Harry willingly opened his eyes to the truth, that his family is not looking to perpetuate some cycle of pain on him, but rather genuinely don't like the woman he married, not because of her race or background, but because of her behavior.
There's a lot that's been lost already. And I grieve a lot. I mean, I've lost my father. I lost a baby. I nearly lost my name. I mean, there's the loss of identity, but I'm still standing.
Beyonce just texted. Really meant. She said, she wants me to feel safe and protected. She admires and respects my bravery and vulnerability, and she thinks I was selected to break generational curses that need to be healed.
If he saw that his family's criticisms of Meghan were not out of jealousy, but of frustration with the attention-seeking stunts and her treatment of staff, if he only realized that the press is not out to hound Meghan, but that she likes to pretend they are so she can keep him afraid of losing another woman in his life, like he did his mother. Well, if he saw all of that, then he would have to admit that he's wrong and that he made a mistake, that he married the wrong woman, and it has literally cost him everything. Acknowledging that you've made a mistake, especially such a catastrophic one, is incredibly difficult because it means you have to set your ego aside, acknowledge all of your shortcomings, humble yourself, apologize to all those you've hurt along the way, and make amends for your actions. But Prince Harry is not willing to do that. The truth is, he wants to believe Meghan's version of events, that he was a misunderstood prince trapped within an institution that kept him locked up out of jealousy, that she came along and saved him by showing him the door to unfettered happiness.
Do you think in some way she saved you?
Yeah, without question, there was a bigger purpose. Yeah, she did. Without question, she saved me.
He would much rather believe this version of the truth, even though it's a lie, because at least in this version, he gets to believe that he's superior to his brother, that he married the better woman, and that he's Mummy's favorite. So every day, Prince Harry actively brainwashes himself. I am happy. I am with the love of my life. My life is amazing. They're all jealous. They wish they could do what I'm doing. My mother would be so proud. Anything to believe that he's the one with the moral high ground.
My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
Thank you so much for watching, and remember to check out NVIDIA AI using the link in the description and my code, TheBaggageClaim50. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.